Welcome back to AscensionU podcast. This is episode 2. My name is John and I am your host for today's episode. So in the first episode, we looked at AscensionU in a little bit more depth. What's the vision behind it? What's the mission? Why do we create it in the first place? And then how the podcast fits into what we were trying to do in our bigger picture. Today's episode is going to dive into the 3 pillars of AscensionU. I'm going to give you a 360 view of what that looks like. And then in the following episodes, we're going to dive into each pillar in more depth and give you some practical takeaways and stuff that you can use to implement in your own personal ascension. Before we dive in, don't forget to drop us a follow or a like or a subscribe. We appreciate your support. And the more you help support us, the more our mission grows and the more people we can potentially actually impact. So let's dive in. So the first pillar of AscensionU is mindsets. Why is mindsets the key pillar and the foundation for everything we do? Nowadays, everybody's obsessed with trying to change the result. Everybody wants a different result. Everybody knows that they might have a certain behavior that is getting them a certain result, but yet they keep finding themselves going back to that behavior over and over and over again. And it bears the question, why do we do the stuff that we know we shouldn't do, but yet we do it over and over? It's because most of the time we're always trying to change things at a superficial level. We're trying to change the thing that is a manifestation of something that's happening below the surface, instead of addressing the deeper rooted issue, which is often subconscious related, a mindset story, a narrative that we have based off of our past or influences or the way we programmed ourselves based off our past experiences, the results we've gotten, where we've grown up, the environment we were in, created certain expectations that creates the perspective that we carry today about ourselves and about the world. So until we really change things at the base level, until we actually change what's driving everything above it, then nothing really changes. If you think of it as the seed and the soil, right? Your mindset is the soil. Your mindset is the thing that's going to actually nourish the seed, the thing that's going to give the seed the right environment to grow. That seed has potential. The oak seed has the potential to grow into an oak tree, but not every oak seed is going to live its potential because it's not always going to have the right environment. So your mindset is what we need to nourish, what we need to take care of, and is the foundation for everything we do. So that is why we always start off with mindsets. And that is why we use the word sets, because there's more than just one mindset. Some people might have a really positive narrative or story related to their business, but in their relationships, they're self-sabotaging. You might have a good positive narrative with your health. Maybe you're getting to the gym. Maybe your exercise is on point. But over here, you have imposter syndrome. Over here, you've got limiting beliefs that's holding you back from starting the business you would like to start. So there's more than just one mindset. And we want to be able to help you understand what is the things that are holding us back. How can we bring more self-awareness to our non-serving parts, our non-serving behaviors, the non-serving thoughts that are driving basically the end result that we don't want to have. And once we bring awareness to that, now we can start to recreate a new story, a new identity to help step into the person we need to become to achieve the goal and vision that we want to have. Number 2 is state sets. State sets is simply, how can I prioritize me feeling good? So I know that everything I'm doing, I can do consistently, but I can optimize my performance because I have the right narrative coming from the right mindset, driving the right feelings, which is going to drive the performance that I actually want. I'm sure you've all experienced in your life at some point where you've gone through a period where you feel crappy. You're in the shits essentially. And while you can perform in that space, there's only a certain period of time that you can do that for before you end up procrastinating, before you end up losing motivation, before that energy drains and you find yourself in a non-serving space. Until we prioritize feeling good, we have to change the narrative, because for often we think once we achieve something, then we'll feel good, right? Once I hit a certain figure in my business, Now I'll start to prioritize feeling good, or now I'm going to feel good. But it's actually the opposite effect. We have to prioritize feeling good first, doing things that make us feel good so we can actually perform consistently as best we can. And that is broken into 3 key categories for us, which is physical reps, all right, our physical sets that we have to get in. We have to get our emotional sets in, and we have to get our mental reps in. Finally, then we have perform sets. Perform sets is the icing on the cake. That is where we want to optimize our performance, whether you're in business or in your job or in your life in general. How can we get the most out of our time? How can we come up with a system for ourselves that helps us integrate both life and business so they're in harmony, so they're not always conflicting with each other? That is the key essence of perform sets. What can I do to now optimize my performance because I have the right narrative, I have the right mindset, which is leading to me to doing the things that I need to do to feel good consistently, and I'm taking care of my physical health, I'm taking care of my mental health, I'm taking care of my own emotional profile, which now means I can start to actually add in strategies for time management or strategies for life management and start to reduce some of the stress levels or manage it in a way that we're not always in that constant neural threat. So they're the 3 pillars that we're going to be diving into in more depth over the coming weeks and over the coming months. But today I really just wanted to give you more of an overview of what they look like so you know what to expect from this channel moving forward. But I do want to give you one practical tip today. I want you to start to bring more awareness to your thinking patterns. Now, what I mean by that is not what you think you're thinking. I want you to dive a little bit deeper and take moments throughout your day to pause and actually think, what am I experiencing at this moment? What sensations do I feel? What are the strong emotions that I'm experiencing? Am I feeling stressed? Am I anxious? Am I overwhelmed? Am I frustrated? Am I happy? Do I feel joyful? What's those emotions? Bring awareness to them. Bring awareness to the thinking patterns. What am I thinking about? And how is that causing me to react? How am I reacting to what I'm thinking about? Now, the whole key is we're not trying to change anything at this moment. We simply want to just bring awareness to it so over time we can get better at noticing it and better at changing those patterns to a more serving pattern and basically start telling ourselves a better story. And when we do that with enough repetition, now that'll become our new story. But the first step is self-awareness, and you need to bring awareness to your current mindset. What are those deficits there for you so we can start to change that narrative? That's it for today's episode. Appreciate you tuning in, and I look forward to bringing you our next episode very soon.